Hi everyone to today's class. Today we are going to see class 10 science chapter 6 control and coordination. In this we are going to see hormones in animals. So what we are going to learn today? See, we are going to understand why animals use hormones in addition to the nervous system, and also the role of adrenaline, and also the major endocrine glands and their hormones, and to study the functions of thyroxine, growth hormone, insulin, testosterone, and estrogen, and what happens when iodine is deficient or insulin is lacking in our body, and understand the feedback mechanism that regulates hormone secretion, and also to compare the nervous and hormonal systems of control and coordination. Let's start with the today's topic, children. Hormones in animals. Why do animals need this hormone? Actually, in animals, control and coordination are essential for survival and also for a proper functioning of the body. These processes are carried out by two systems. One is the nervous system and another one is the endocrine system. See, this nervous system, it uses the electrical impulses like a fast response, can we say. An endocrine system, it uses chemical messengers. What are those? Those are hormones. So hormones are secreted by endocrine glands and they are transported through the blood to target organs where they produce specific effects. Need for chemical coordination. What happens? See, the nervous system acts quickly but has limitations. It only affects cells connected by nerves and its effects are very short-lived, right? Only for a short duration it will be. Hormones overcome these limitations. What they will do, they reach all body parts, yeah, through the blood, and also their effects are slow but they are long-lasting. For example, we can say adrenaline. So what is happening there? Adrenaline is a hormone which is secreted by the adrenal glands. Where they are located, children? On the top of the kidney, you can able to see this adrenal glands. So during the emergency situations such as fear, stress or danger, they are secreted. What are the effects of this adrenaline? See, when this is secreted, what happens? The heart beats faster and also it supplies more oxygen to the muscles. And also breathing rate increases, blood flow is diverted from the digestive system and skin to muscles. So everywhere, yeah, the body becomes ready for immediate action. One example is like a squirrel escaping from a predator, or we can say a person reacting quickly in a dangerous situation. Yes. So let's move on to the next. The endocrine system, glands and hormones. What is this? See, the endocrine system is made up of glands that release hormones directly into the bloodstream. So these hormones act on specific target organs. So here some major endocrine glands yeah, have given. So hypothalamus, pituitary gland. Can you able to see, children? So we have studied in your lower classes the pituitary gland is the master gland. Actually, but after that we came to know even that pituitary gland is also controlled by the hypothalamus. Then we have the pineal gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid glands. Can you able to see, children? Thymus is there, adrenal glands, pancreas, testes, ovaries. So these are some major endocrine glands. So let's see the functions of these glands. Yes. So here we are going to see some important hormones and their functions. So growth hormone. Who is secreting this growth hormone? Pituitary gland is secreting this growth hormone. What it does is stimulates the growth in all organs. So it controls the growth and development of the body and its deficiency. If it is very less or is deficient means it leads to dwarfism. Dwarfism means what happens in children? Stunted growth. They cannot grow properly. Next is the thyroxine. Yes, a hormone which is secreted by the thyroid gland. It regulates metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins and fats. It requires iodine for its production. Yeah? So deficiency causes goiter, that is the swelling of the neck. And then use of iodized salts prevents iodine deficiency. Next is the insulin. So insulin is secreted by the pancreas. It regulates the blood sugar levels and also its deficiency leads to diabetes. So diabetes patients, they take insulin injections in order to control the sugar levels in the blood. Next is the, adrenaline, already we saw. So this adrenal, which is secreted by the adrenal gland, yes. So it is a fight or the flight hormone. It increases the heartbeat and also breathing rate, blood to muscles, everything will be increased. And the next one is the sex hormones. So here we have the testosterone and estrogen. So testosterone in males, actually it controls the development of male characteristics. Yes, during the puberty, secondary sexual characters, everything is taken control by this testosterone. And then estrogen in female, it controls the development of female characteristics and also menstrual cycle. So changes during puberty, such as like a voice change, growth, and body development, everything is controlled by these sex hormones, children. Yes, let's move to the next one. So here, feedback mechanism and nervous hormonal. Yes, what does it mean? See, hormone secretion is controlled by a feedback mechanism. Why? In order to maintain the balance in the body. For example, here, blood sugar regulation I have given. So when blood sugar level raises, what happens? The pancreas releases more insulin in order to control the blood sugar level. So when blood sugar level falls, insulin secretion will be decreased. Again, say everything will be taken control by this, pancreas. So whether to release the insulin or not, it is taken control by this pancreas. And then nervous system versus hormonal system. So here is a comparison. First, what is the type of the signal here? Here in the nervous system is the electrical impulses, but in the hormone it is through hormones are nothing but chemicals, right? So how the speed will be in nervous system? It will be very fast. What about in hormonal? It is very slow. And the duration here in nervous is short-lived. Here it is a long-lasting and persistent in hormonal. The reach, actually only cells with nerve connection will, nervous system, right? So cells with the nerve connections, nothing but our neurons, right? What happens in hormonal system? All cells via blood it happens, widespread. Example is a pulling hand from flame. Here growth, puberty, blood sugar level, everything are some examples of hormonal system. So what we have learned from this whole chapter, children? See, we have learned about the control and coordination, also the functions of the nervous system and hormones present in our body, and what responses, of the nervous system and how to classify it. It can be classified as reflex action, voluntary and also involuntary action. This nervous system, it uses electrical impulses in order to transmit the messages. And also the nervous system gets information from our sense organs and acts through our muscles. So this chemical coordination we can see both in plants as well as in the animals also. So a hormone produced in one part of an organism, it moves to another part in order to achieve the desired effect. So the feedback mechanism regulates the action of the hormone. So all these things we have covered in this chapter. Yes, so here I have given you some memory tips and also easy ways to remember. Here hormones, how to remember all these hormones? GITAO plus IE I have given in order to remember. So what is this G? G is the growth hormone, I is the insulin, T is the thyroxine, and A is the adrenaline, and O is the estrogen, and I is the insulin, which is secreted by the pancreas, and E is the ethylene. Wait, but that is happening in the plants, not in the human beings or animals, right? So why ethylene? In order to ripening of the food, right? And then simpler, just remember the gland and this hormone as a pair. So pituitary, growth hormone, right? Thyroid is thyroxine hormone. Pancreas, insulin. Adrenal, adrenaline. So easy to remember, right? And feedback. Feedback, we can compare it as like a thermostat. Yes, see, our body works like an AC thermostat. How? When the room is too hot, AC turns on, and when the room becomes too cool, AC turns off. Same thing happens in our body too, right? So blood sugar level, when it becomes high, insulin will switch on. So when the insulin is secreted, what will happen? Sugar level drops. And then what happens? Insulin will off. So the same loop and the same idea is followed. And then next one is iodine. Iodine is not there means thyroid, it cannot secrete the thyroxine hormone. If it is not there means it will lead to a disease called as goiter, nothing but the swelling of the neck. So no iodine, no thyroxine. No thyroxine, neck swells up. That is a disease called goiter. That's why we eat iodized salt. So remember ITG, iodine, thyroxine, goiter if missing. Adrenaline, like we can compare it to see a scared squirrel. So imagine a squirrel seeing a cat, how it will, the squirrel's heart will, yeah, it race fast, and also breathing speed increases, muscle gets more blood, fight or run, right? That's adrenaline from the adrenal gland. A is adrenal, and then which is causing the adrenaline secretion and leads to the action. So here I have given some board exam questions, yeah, along with the marks and also in which year it was asked, everything I have given here children. So again I said now same what we used to talk in the previous videos. For everything previous year question paper, I provide you a separate video along with the key points. Yes, for your answer purpose. So how does chemical coordination take place in animals? Yes, and why is the use of iodized salt advisable? Just now we saw how does our body respond when adrenaline is secreted into the blood? Why are some patients of diabetes treated by giving injections of insulin? Compare and contrast nervous and hormonal mechanism for control and coordination. What is the need of a system of control and coordination in an organism? So all this see top scorer are also given. Iodized salt appears almost every year. Q5 nervous west hormonal comparison is a guaranteed 5 mark question. So make a proper table in the exam children. Yes, everything these are very important questions. So in this chapter, what we saw, so what is a plant hormone? Given some options there in your book, answer is a cytokinin. So the gap between the two neurons we called as a synapse. The brain is responsible for all the activities. So it will be given in the book just to go through all those things and short answer topics like functions of receptors, what if they don't work, label diagram of a neuron and its a function, on what is phototropism, how it occurs in plants, yes, and then signals disrupted in the spinal cord injury, what happens, if chemical coordination in plants, yes, all those things. And the need for control and coordination, involuntary versus reflex actions, compare the nervous as well as the hormonal mechanism, movement in sensitive plant versus our legs. So these are some short answer topics. So we have come to the end of this lesson. So we have completed the whole chapter. Yes, children. So go through all the videos. Yes, don't miss anything. So what we have seen, hormones, they play a very essential role in controlling and coordinating body functions in animals, while the nervous system provides quick and short-term responses. The endocrine system ensures slow, long-lasting and widespread effects. So both the system work together. Why they are working together? In order to maintain balance and also help the body respond effectively to different situations. So this is the last part of this lesson children. Yes, go through all the videos, watch the videos fully. Don't skip the videos. Yes, watch the videos. That's all for today's session. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.